Welcome, everybody, to episode 66 of the effing title. And today's guest, I can't say enough good things about. He's one of the kindest men I know. He's one of the most honest men I know. He actually helped me out a lot when I first started streaming, and he doesn't know that. He just found that out right now. He's changed his name, but he's still the same fucking person. This is ComfyMike, but is it okay if I call you Mike?
You can call me Mike. You don't have to lie to him. I really didn't do anything to help you at all.
Well, so it's more of a just like, so like I said, you don't really know it, right? Because of course I haven't really told you it. But no, it was the fact of just the way that you went about stuff, your attitude, how you did your stuff. You did what you wanted to do. And like it really, like just seeing you do that, and like even just every now and then when you'd pop in stream or stuff, like it was one of those things. It made me feel a lot better about what I was doing.
It was funny because I was stuck. Oh my god! Everyone talks about this so much, and I really like can't stand it when, you know. I always like when somebody with like, I keep saying like when someone with like 10 10 viewers is like, let me tell you about the small streamer mentality. Like let me tell you about the mentality. I'm like, it's all feeding into like the same cycle of everybody giving each other the same advice, and then it doesn't really help anyone, and it kind of keeps them down. So I was kind of in the loop of that advice where I was like, if I follow this, then I'll have a successful Twitch stream. But then after a while, I was like, I'm actually really sick of doing this. I hate it. It makes me sad. So I was like, why don't I just do my own thing? And then I did, and it was a lot of fun. And then I burnt out, and then I never streamed again. So,
I was going to say, so for the people out there, because of course I know you, for the people out there that do not know you, though, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
So, I am ComfyMike TV. I am the former Butt Juice Soup, as some of you might have known, as some of you might have seen.
That's probably the amount of my.
What's up?
I was going to say, there's probably a good amount of people that are here that I know that know you as that, just because I've mentioned you a bunch of different times as Butt Juice Soup.
Do you remember where we met?
I want to say.
I remember vividly.
I want to say it was either someone's chat or his Instagram.
No.
All right, so fuck me then, right? Like
exactly. You were doing commentary for a ping pong tournament at your friend's workplace.
Yep.
He was going against my wife's friend's husband, who is also my friend. So I went on to the stream to see him play ping pong, and then we started talking as they were playing, and now it became a friendship.
Mm-hmm. All right, yep.
It's something so insanely random and out there that has become like something,
Funny thing, before COVID hit, me and my friend there, Steve, we were actually talking about trying to get, and he was trying to get another one of those set up so I could do another one because he thought it was a good time.
Oh,
yeah,
I would have done it. I'm not very athletic, as you could not see, but it's it's like it's something so random to kind of bring us together, and I don't know. I'm very happy it happened because you're a really cool dude, man.
I appreciate that.
For people who don't know, the Big Husky. So the best honor you can have, especially as a daytime streamer, is to be a work lurk. It's basically someone that you have on that you just kind of watch while you're working. You may not always chat. You may not always say things, but you just, it's like a permanent lurk throughout the entire day. I had a couple of those when I was starting out, and Big Husky is my work lurk. I watch Big Husky whenever he comes online, whenever he's doing his stuff,
doing the thing. It's funny because like that's the only reason. So the main reason why that happened was because of COVID. Because I got put on furlough, and my buddies started working from home, and they were able to play games while working from home. So I just started streaming in the mornings, and it caught fire. And then when I had to go back to work, I was talking to my dad, and me and him like basically came up with a schedule so I could continue to work, like stream in the mornings, but still get all my work done.
See, that's the shit. When you have people that will help you, like
Mm-hmm.
streaming is such a dream, and it's great to have people around you that say, "I don't understand it, but I understand it makes you happy, so let's work around it."
Yeah, it's like one of the first times, because of course we did Zoom meetings every now and then just to see how everyone was doing, and I used to
Yeah.
just do them from my phone when I was out back, like out in the workshop doing stuff. And then there was one day when I did it from stream. Right, I was on my computer and I said, "Fuck, I'm just gonna do it here," and I did it. And one of the first things that like my boss said, he's like, "Colin, those better not be toys behind you," like in a joking sort of matter. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, okay, fuck you, guy. And then more and more recently, he's like, the few times I've talked to him recently, he's been like, hey, like, how's things going with your streaming stuff? You doing this? You doing that? You got anything new going on?
People
Like,
get excited about it because you get excited about
exactly.
it. People, okay, so attraction comes from like passion, you know? When people see you're really passionate about something, they're like, maybe I should ask them about it because especially in times that we have right now, passion is basically all we have left.
True.
So like kind of seeing someone really happy and like really passionate about something it means everything. Those are the type of people you want to hang around because for so many it's just like a series of blah. Like I've lost so many friends cuz like there's nothing really left to talk about. You know, what vaccine did you get? It's just like, okay, cool, but like, I've lost since I've stopped streaming, I've lost a lot of friendships that I thought were friendships,
Yeah, just kind of those ones that it's you thought that there was you thought it was, and it's funny because that will kind of tie into the first topic. Because I've had a few where friends that I've had at the beginning of when I first started streaming that I'm no longer friends with now because shit has changed, and it's funny to think about, like,
yeah.
But so got sidetracked. Tell the good people a little bit about yourself, Mike.
A little bit about myself. Okay, well, what is there to say about me? I live with my wife in a house. I work at a television network. I streamed from 2018 to 2020. I have been canceled over Twitter for my hatred of lasagna. I'm not as interesting as I would let on. I've like what I do this weekend. I went out and sat at my first restaurant in since everything hit.
Oh, how was that?
And that was really crazy because like I was looking around. So we had a huge argument with my mother-in-law.
Okay.
Because my mother-in-law, she doesn't want to like, since everything has come out, she doesn't want to wear a mask. And I was like, just wear it. Like, it doesn't matter. Just like, and she's like, why do I have to make myself uncomfortable? And this will tie into something later on that I'm going to talk about later on, which is the DC thing. But when, I come from a household with divorced parents, so whenever you kind of come from that, you have to kind of grab lessons where you can get them in terms of like learning how to have positive relationships with people and friends and streams. You have to kind of, and a lot of where I picked up my positive, my positive traits, my morality, my code was comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Was DC comic book stuff like that. So whenever I have a question, I'm kind of like, okay, like what would Superman do?
Fair.
What would Superman say? What would he say? And what he would say is, I will make myself a little uncomfortable for the health and safety of those around me. Like, so I'm like, what we're doing. So when she's like, I don't know why I have to be like this, like there's just a certain level of compassion that we've kind of lost through everything with the me and mines.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I would rather make myself uncomfortable for however long it is, 3 hours, what it is, but potentially, number one, put at ease the people around me.
Yeah.
And number two, potentially not harm another person.
Mm-hmm.
I think because I've been given like life, and because I have so many good things kind of going for me, I think I owe society that is just not to actively work against it.
Yeah.
So that's what I had to tell her in so many words.
Well, that's unfortunate for that, but yeah, no. I mean, I'm like I said, for everyone out there that doesn't know, I've been wanting to have ComfyMike on for a while now. I mean, finally got it figured out. Finally got it all set up, and here we are. So for everyone out there that doesn't know, topics I let my guests pick, unless there's one or two that they want me to pick. We've had some before where people want me to pick. So the topics for today, the ComfyMike has picked, are relationships, DC Comics versus media, and the final topic. And this is one that was actually made by the lovely Dana. She came up with this like last year at some point, which is my life as a, where we will talk about the guest's job if they so allow us to. So let's kick the whole thing off. Relationships. Why was relationships the first? Because it's funny because there's some guests that I'll have that it takes them a while to come up with topics, and then there's some that like within like an hour or a day, it's like there, done.
I could talk about relationships forever, is the thing.
Okay.
Because I am a studier of people. I love people. I love what makes them tick. I love things that make them like good people. I love things that make them assholes. I love people. So whenever I see like a dynamic of a relationship, I just kind of always want to know more.
Okay.
Something good happens in the relationship. Why did it happen? Something horribly goes wrong in the relationship. How did they get to the point? Because it's never, it's never like, it never happens suddenly. There's always it's always a building tension that finally gets to a point in which something big happens, and then you both have to deal with it, Yeah,
it's never just like, babe, I slipped, and then suddenly I was on his dick. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's just how it was.
I don't know what happened. It just no. It's like it's a combination. I don't know. I've had bad relationships. I've had good relationships. I've had relationships that have ended spectacularly. I had a relationship end so spectacularly that she became a rabbi and never married and swore off being in a relationship ever again.
Damn.
I know.
For me, relationships. For me, the word is interesting because
word.
To me, it is because I find it interesting because relationship to me can be anything, right? What is your relationship with this? What is your relationship with games? What is your relationship with drinking? What is your relationship with this person? So, like, it's one of those things where I consider friendship a level of relationship. You see what I'm saying? So, like,
it depends how much you let them into your relationship. Like, it depends how much you're willing to share with them, because you can have surface level relationships and they're not really relationships, because at that point you're basically just working together.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing,
ask
is,
each
right?
other, how are you doing? How are you doing? Fine, leave. It's NPC relationships.
Yeah, I
call them.
And that's the thing, right? It's like, well, what is your relationship with this person? It's like, oh, well, that's my work friend.
Yeah.
So I find the word to me has always been interesting because it can take on, depending on who you are as a person, it can take on so many different kind of levels, and that's kind of the interesting thing for me about relationships is like the level of it. Like, what is the level of it? Where is it? Which thing is it in? Sort of thing. Because like,
are you a very open person? Do you let people in?
To an extent. I will let people in as much as I think that they need to be let in. I've been very skeptical for a long time because of a lot of things that have happened in past
Mhm.
friendships, relationships, just in general. So there's certain people, like for instance, I'm not going to give names or anything. I'm just going to just
Yeah.
kind of there's certain people that I've met and they've basically immediately known almost anything and everything that there's about me. Like I
Mhm.
immediately let them in. Everything is open. How are you doing? Not doing good. Why? Boom, there it is. And then there's other people that I've known for years, and they can ask me like, it's like, hey, how's things going? I'll be like, it's not going great. It's like, okay, well, what's up? And I just, it's like I don't really want to talk about it.
Do they not dig, or do you not? Are you not forthcoming?
It's it's one of those things where depending on like I said, it's a little bit of my relationship with the person as well, right? So
Hmm.
like some people, like I said, some people I let in. Boom, they're in. As soon as they're in, they're in. You know, and then there's other people that like I've let that. It's like for instance, my college buddies. All of them know everything and anything that's going on. But it's at what extent do they know? Right? I can
Yeah.
say, like, hey, like stuff isn't going well. Why? Just that's all you need to know. And then there's other people that's like stuff isn't going well. Why? Well, you see. So it's
Well,
one.
that's also guy on guy relationships are kind of like that
Mm-hmm,
because there's this weird the only word I can come with is like faux pas against being with the guys, watching sports, and just being the doctor told me that I have high blood pressure and I could I
mm-hmm.
could die any day now. Dude would be like, that, bro, that sucks.
Yeah.
like.
Damn,
But of
dude.
course, if I tell my wife, she'd be like, "Oh my god, that's so horrible. We need to fix your diet. We need to get you on medication."
Mm-hmm.
What else did they say? What details did they say? So I feel like sometimes we're in those situations where some it depends. It just depends on the relationship and the things you have in common with this person.
Oh yeah, I mean,
You know?
because it's one of those things like like for instance when I was going through when I went to the ER and everything, right?
Yeah.
Um, went
Oh, geez, you did?
yeah, I went to the ER back in March, April, May. Yeah, so March, beginning of March. It was like I said, I was like, you know what? Everyone's getting into shape. Fuck it. I'm sick of being fatty. I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna get a bunch of food. I'm gonna eat all the food, and then the next day we're gonna get this shit going. So I
Feel
ate.
that.
So I
I feel that energy so hard.
so I ate all the food, and then I got a sharp pain in my stomach. And then went into my back, and then I did the podcast. I did an entire podcast in pain. Got done. I was talking to someone. I was like, I think I might need to go to the hospital. And I
Oh,
was talking to my
jeez.
dad, and I was like, I think I might need to go to the hospital. And my dad was like, okay, I'm coming over right now, because like I'm one of those guys that like I'm in pain. I'm gonna fix it myself.
Yeah.
But it's like this one, I was like, nope, this is. Mm-mm. And like while I was there, so like of course I told a few people about this. So I like, hey, like I'm going to the ER. I'm going to that. Like so while I was there though, there was like one person that I was talking to the entire time I was there. Like
Mhm.
everything and anything, like they were getting constant updates. And then as soon as I got out, got home, I messaged everyone, kind of like, hey, this is what's going on. Da 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 da. You
Were
know,
you okay?
yeah. In the end, I apparently the way that the doctor, because now I actually have an actual doctor, because apparently mine retired and no one told me. Um, so the way that my new doctor told me was, you tested the fuck out of your gallbladder,
Yeah.
and I was like, awesome. He goes, it is awesome, but it failed, and I was like, oh, but just like its old man. Um, but like so like of course like so like in that instance there was one person that was knowing everything that was happening right there and then and there. Everyone else
Yeah.
kind of found out that or in my life found out the day or two after, because of course the following day after I went, I fucking slept the entire day. I was so fucked up on meds that they gave me that I fucking I was out. So it's one
I
of
see. I had the same thing. I went to the hospital and it was just a day. I caught norovirus. Do you know norovirus?
it sounds familiar, but I mean,
You basically just cannot stop puking and shitting. Like
oh,
to be blunt, like until you dehydrate yourself and pass out.
The Taco Bell. The Taco Bell.
Yeah, I had a raw hamburger from TGI Fridays.
Fucking
It
TGI
was
Fridays.
frozen in the middle. I got norovirus. It was so bad. My wife looked at me and she was like, "You're pale." She's like, "You gotta go." So then I was in the hospital for 3 days. They couldn't hook in the IV right, so they're just pumping fluids like into my blood, which is weird. And I get back to work, and my guy friend goes, "Who said you could take a vacation for the past 3 days?" I was like, "I was in the hospital, dude." I was like, man, like I was not doing well. He was like, "Oh, well, sorry to hear that," and then he kind of walked away. So like, you just don't have that relationship with some people. You know, some people like my wife was there the entire way through. I mean, even like we called my brothers and sisters, and they were like, "Oh, that sucks." Like no one really, except for my sister and my mom, no one really came. You know, It was just like my wife.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing sometimes the like that sort of stuff, right? Like, boom, this has happened. Seeing what people's responses are.
Another thing you see. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. I see like one thing I see a lot, especially on Twitter. So I'm a connoisseur of Twitter. I am on it constantly, and I basically do it because, as I said before, I'm a people watcher. I just watch people. Like when I like to see the post that they make because I like to know the motivations behind each post that they make. You know, each time somebody posts something, they're looking for something, and it's always another piece to their human puzzle. So, like, one person will be like, you know, they'll do a send dog photos, or they'll do a God, today is not great. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to goad people to go into their DMs and like basically ask them about it.
True.
And I'm one of those people where I'll like, okay, I'll go in their DMs, I'll talk to them. I'm like, "Hey, are you okay?" They're like, "Fine." I was like, "Oh, okay. Like, do you need anything? Like, what's going on?" They're like, no, I'm cool. Just like, bye." And I was like, they don't want to talk. They just want to know someone in the world cares.
They just want to know that someone is there.
The number one thing I think about all day, every day, and it sounds so morbid, but it's true.
Okay, I was about to say pizza, but I mean that's not.
I don't think about pizza. I haven't thought about pizza in like weeks.
I think about pizza.
I go, what will people say at my funeral?
You know what? It's funny you fucking say that, because so first of all, I think this is the second one. I actually had a buddy recently pass. But so because of that though, it has made me think that though, because of course, like seeing everyone's reactions to it, and kind of let me put it like this for all my college friends, you know who this is. For everyone else that doesn't, it was a ex-girlfriend recently re-entered my life because of that incident. Yeah, very weird. But it got me thinking though, like it's like, yeah, like what would people say if just like tomorrow they were like, "Hey, Husky's gone."
I don't want to like. You're like, okay, who are the people that will really say something insightful? You know, because I was thinking about it. I'm like, is my boss gonna go? What's he gonna say? He was good at doing tech work.
I had made it very clear to a couple friends that if anything is to happen in the entire, if anything is to happen to me, right, and I go, and they see someone say something and they know it's bullshit to call them on it. I've told a few people to do that, and like I've even said to other people like, yeah, I've got someone that if someone says something like that, they call them out on it, and it's like that's fucking mean. I'm like, no, what's mean is lying after I'm dead.
Well, I actually have it in my will that if somebody wants to use my death to get sympathy pussy, that they are completely 100% within the right and to do whatever they can.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Use my name to get yourself. Because my wedding, I had a wedding and 2 couples met there, and both of those couples are getting married this year.
Hey, there we go.
I want to use events in my life to bring people together.
Fair.
If something beautiful can come from something sad, it's a completion of a cycle, you know?
It's not a square. It's not a triangle. It's a circle.
Yeah, it's not like a line. It's like a complete and utter cycle. Like it's nice to know that like my wife's childhood friend and my coworker met at my wedding and are now like living together and getting married. My wife's best friend, who was her maid of honor, and her grandma's friend's grandson who met there, they're also getting married. You know? Something like it was the start of our journey getting married, but it was the start of their journey in a relationship.
Yeah, because
it's
of
a cycle.
Yeah, because of you guys getting married, they were able to meet, and then because of that, that's fucking cool.
That's what I say. Use my death for whatever means and purposes. If you want to lie about, the real people are gonna know the truth. They're gonna be like, Mike was a decent man. My wife's just gonna be like, because I know that's I've seen enough death around me where they start to, because the pedestal starts happening. And it starts to be like, they could do no wrong, you know, don't talk bad about him, don't do this and that. And I'm like, let the person who died, like, they can retain their good parts, but also let them retain their flaws. Let's not make them into like this saintly figure. Let's remember them fully as the complete person that they were. So when I'm like, if you like, if I don't, go up there and just be like, he was so generous and brave and so kind and this and that. Like, remember me as a full person, which was like, he was a solid dude. He'd disappear from time to time. Like, I wouldn't talk to him for weeks, but whenever I needed him, he would always have a conversation.
Comfy Mike once told me, "Oh, baby, put that sugar on me," while shaking his titties around and drinking hot sauce on stream. That is how I will forever know Comfy Mike.
That is how I will remember him. That is the only picture I will ever have of him in my head.
Yeah, no, it is an interesting, I mean, like you said, it's fucking morbid. However, though, it is an interesting, kind of, it is that thing of like, there was a recent thing on Instagram that I saw.
Yeah.
That one of my friends, Lauren, she shared it, and it was like, if you were to describe me to someone, how would you describe me? Like that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I was bored, so I said, "Fuck it," and I put it up. And it was interesting seeing what people said in it, because, of course, I always have a huge negative image of myself in my head.
I like you. I'm on your fucking podcast. I love you.
I love you too. But I still have a huge negative. But so it was.
I hate myself. I'm like, I like you.
But seeing that though was nice, because there was a couple people that I weren't expecting. There was a couple people that I was expecting. There was some people that I thought would but didn't. But in the end though, it was nice seeing, kind of the range of what people had said. And especially like recently, it's been a little bit of a downward stretch for me recently because of certain stuff that's been happening. Yeah. So getting that was nice, Yeah, I agree though.
Say about Big Husky. what would I describe Big Husky as?
I mean, I wonder if I can find. Of course, it's on my fucking story, so I should be able to
Do
find
you
it.
know what I would say?
I don't know what.
I would
See, this is the thing is that
say
like I don't know what a lot of people would say because honestly, there's been times when like people would be like, "Oh yeah, I would say this," and immediately my mind is like, "Yeah, but I'm not that," because that's just how it is for me.
the word that comes to my mind when I think of Big Husky
Is it husky?
is passionate.
Passionate? All right.
You really like you have a couple interests and you really dig hard at those interests in so much that you make your content about them. You work very, very hard because you are passionate about your interests. So many people try to fake passion on this platform and others on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok. They try to fake passion. And the thing is, like, when somebody can fake passion, you can taste it in your mouth. Like, you can be like, I don't know why, but I don't like this person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know why.
There's something here that doesn't feel right.
Yeah, and the thing is, you don't believe what they're doing because they don't believe they like what they're doing, but they think it can get them famous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't think you actually like this game. I just think you're playing this game over and over and over again because it's the hot game right now,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to get like a crumb of viewership. I'm like, I don't think you like this game.
It's funny that it's one of the ones that I do find real funny because like, of course, because it as well. Brand new season of this comes out, or this brand new game comes out, or the hottest new thing comes out, or we're re-releasing this. It's interesting seeing the people that are playing it because one, they got paid to play it. Yeah. Two, they're playing it because they're like, well, everybody's playing it, so if I play it, then maybe I can get some of those viewers in. And then there's the people that are just like, yeah, I fucking love this game. I've been playing it since I was 7, and this is the only game I really like to play.
Okay, I don't know if you do this, so I'm just about to shit all over it. So I apologize if I hurt feelings.
Yeah, good.
But
burn all the feelings that you want, Mike.
I'm gonna burn the feelings to the ground. The problem I always have is a lot of the people that just, I'm going to say that I hate horror games.
No,
I don't like horror games. They're slow paced. I hate jump scares. It's stupid. And everybody wants the clip, so they'll just be like, you'll just see like a streamer be like, uh-oh, what's behind this door? What's behind this door? Something pops out and they're like, clip.
Yeah.
I've seen it so many fucking times.
I love it when they do it though, and they freak out, and then it's immediately like right back to their normal state, and then they look at the camera and go, "Can someone clip that?" That's that right there. I will tell you right now. Right there. That is one of the biggest pet peeves that I have on the platform is people who are streaming, doing something cool happens, and then they out loud say, "Someone clip that."
I used to do that, and then I got a stream deck where I can just clip whatever I'm doing.
So for me, I go back, rewatch my streams and clip everything. For me,
you go and watch your own VODs, which is craziness.
See, to me, it's just like it takes me out of the moment to be able to say like, hey, like like, oh yeah, someone clip that. Like it just takes me out of the moment of the game at that point. At that point, it's like, then like I said, if I hurt anyone, I'm really sorry. But to me, that's almost me being like, hey, you do this thing because it's this is gonna be something that might make me big. It's like, no, man. Like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have a natural reaction and boom, done. Like
just like I will. I just,
if we're gonna
when you start doing that, people that are watching you are like, oh, he doesn't really care to really talk about us. He's just, doing his song and dance. It does bother. I just, I know so many people built their entire following on horror streams, and I'm not gonna shit on horror streams, but you just see it and you just hate it.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Is there's a difference between the people who genuinely love it.
Oh, I think I got a splinter in my What?
That's not good. Like for instance, I'm gonna throw a shout out to my boy Jagger. My boy Jagger loves Resident Evil. He loves the series. He's loved like all of them. He recently just played 8 on his stream. He's gonna replay it because he's got a bunch of the unlockable stuff now. Like watching him play horror games, I'm fine with. Right? I do horror games in October because it's one of those things
Because it's Halloween.
It's how right, and just it fucking makes sense. I'm the biggest pussy that there comes to when it comes to horror stuff. Like these guys all that are watching right now know. I got scared playing Blair Witch when the woodpeckers in the background were going, and it was honestly scaring me. Like it wasn't like me like being like, "Oh my god, there's something." No, it was an honest like, yeah, no, because I'm getting a piece.
Phasmophobia is not like a horror game. It's like
it isn't
a game you can play with people. You know,
it isn't. But I mean, like now that I'm getting a PC, I'm gonna have to play Phasmophobia.
You're gonna have to play games with me eventually.
Of course, we're gonna play Valorant again, which was already talked about in chat.
Can I say something really quickly? Can I bring something up?
Of course. I mean, we've I think we've been off track of relationships for about 20 minutes now.
Yeah. I have 7 sports jerseys. I own 7 sports jerseys. None of these players that I own jerseys for are still on that team. I just have like literally $700 worth of jerseys that are outdated. If I go to a game, someone's gonna bring it up that they're not on the team anymore.
Yep.
You know what's really funny? I was at a Yankee game once, and someone was wearing a Lou Gehrig like jersey, and some guy goes, "Yo, buy a new jersey. He's not on the team anymore." It's like, dude, he died like 2 years ago. Like, you can't wear retro jerseys anymore because he's not on the team anymore. I was like, he was born in like the 1800s.
He's not on the team anymore?
He's not on the team anymore. He should be 140 years old.
That's when
he's to the left.
That's when I hit him with the "he's not in the team anymore" and frantically grab my phone and start aggressively typing while looking at him scared. Are you serious? Like fuck off, guy.
Yeah, I'm just aggressively tweeting that you are ruining my experience. I have 7 jerseys. None of them are on the team anymore. 2 New England jerseys, 1 Detroit jersey, 1. I have a Mets jersey, a Nationals jersey, and a hockey jersey. 2 hockey jerseys. None of them are on the same team anymore. I mean, it was never a problem until I met my wife, who buys jerseys, and then the next year the person goes off, and they're like franchise players.
See, I've gone to the point now where when I was in high school, I used to buy jerseys, and I have Seahawks, Jets, Patriots, Texans.
Jet jersey do you have?
DeBrickashaw Ferguson.
DeBrickashaw Ferguson, the man's a wall.
I have a Cowboys jersey. I have a Lions jersey. I have a Cavs jersey. I have a Utah Jazz jersey in the corner over here. I have my Ravens jersey over in the corner. I have a Ravens jersey there. I have a Ravens jersey over there.
Get a basketball jersey. I still am looking for a favorite team, and I think I have one.
So this is my thing. Okay, before you pick one, pick player, not team.
Yeah, that's what I did before.
It's too difficult in basketball, man. Like they just move constantly around. Like, nah, I'm done with that shit. Rajon Tucker, he's my dude. That's it. Done. So I'm playing the G League when I was able to stream the G League. I was upset that I couldn't do it this past year, or this past season. But like that's my dude. So he went to one of the teams of my uncle, one of my dad's uncle. So that would be like, well, my great uncle or whatever. I don't fucking remember. Anyways, he's out there. And he has season tickets. So he like bought me like a little goodie bag. So I have like an authentic Rajon Tucker jersey. I got a beanie. I got a long sleeve. I got a t-shirt. Like I got all this stuff. And I opened it up. I opened it up on stream and made it into an unboxing video. Put it online. Tagged Rajon Tucker in it, and he reposted it on Instagram. I was like, "This is tough."
Yo, who's retweeting Rajon Tucker shit?
He's like, "This is tough," and I was like, "Yes." I was like, yes, it is tough.
Who was it? I gotta like and say because you know how they have those things where it's like the last person you played in a video game,
Hmm.
you now have to try to kill in Mortal Kombat,
Oh, okay.
and I think it was like, I think it was like Otto Porter, and I was like, it looks like me and Otto Porter are about to go at it, and he gave me a like, and I was like,
That's awesome. I see. I love shit like that, man. Shit like that's like,
it just makes your day. Somewhere in the world, Otto Porter knows I exist.
well, that's the thing, right? It's like so, like these guys are taking a moment out of their day to just be like, hey, hey,
But
it's
then
okay.
also, like, we have to understand they're searching their own name also if they're doing that.
Oh, 100%. Well, my other thing is like, I've, I, I've,
That can't be ignored.
I've tagged them as well. Like I used to tag a bunch of like NFL players. I still do every now and then. Well, actually, not anymore now that I don't put up football clips. But I used to put up Madden clips, and I used to do a 65 and under franchises. So I was using a lot of the lower kind of level guys, and I would tag them in clips, and they would like it or be like, "Yeah, that's what's up." And I'm sitting there like, it's like, yeah, you're saying that because you're not on a team, because you're barely making it onto the team right now. But hey, I love you. You know, you're helping my team do work right now. So, but there's a few guys on out there though that I've like become like diehard fans of because of that. You know, like they've retweeted, like for instance, Lendale White.
Dude, Lendale White, the
I
1-2 punch at UCLA.
I tagged him in something. I was like, hey, I just used you in Madden. I just broke the rushing record, you know, rushing touchdown record and rushing record with you. And he responded with something like, yeah, that's what, like, yeah, that's what's up, like that sort of thing. And I was like, yeah, that
Oh,
is what's fucking up, you know.
Lendale White, and it's like in the late 2010s. That's cool shit, you know.
Um, right, let's swerve back. Let's aggressively swerve
Let's
back on a
get-
track. Relationships. I've had some really bad relationships that have really fucked me up over the years, and I've had some pretty decent relationships. And of course, now I'm feel like I'm now talking more along the lines of romantic than pure friendship sort of thing.
I have like I had good ones and bad ones, and now I just have a very good one that's gone on for a very long time. Actually, next year is going to be 10 years since we started dating. 10 years
Hot damn.
with the
Damn.
same person. We moved in a year after we started dating. So we've lived together for now almost 9 years.
That's fucking awesome, man. I love hearing shit like that. It's one of the things that I've said like to my buddies. Because all my college buddies are like married. Or the main ones that I talk to are married and everything. So, and I've always said to them, I know that you guys have, you know, had, you know, your struggles in the past and it hasn't been easy and this and that. And I'm like, but like, you guys I look up to. That eventually, at some point, eventually down the line, I'm hoping that I get something along the lines of this because it's like just seeing them, it like, you know, I love them to death. I love their partners to death. Everything about them is just, it's like that's it. You know, it's like it's these two versus the fucking world, and I love it.
You kind of start to realize that the all relationships are is you both working towards a common goal.
Mm-hmm. It's for me, it's from what I see from the ones. Cause of course, I've had some buddies that hasn't worked. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the ones that do work, it's literally just it's I support you, you support me. We're gonna kill it together, and that's all that matters. Is that we're killing it together. You know, it's us versus everyone else. Fuck everyone else. We're gonna do our thing. We're gonna do it however we need to do it, and it's
Dude, the
great.
problem is when you're with someone for so long, you start to become separate people. So eventually, if you don't keep in constant communication and you're not really like keeping tabs on your relationship,
Mhm.
eventually you'll wake up and realize that the person has completely changed.
Yeah.
And you might like that person, you might not like that person. And what we've kind of realized is we're changing into people we like more because we're constantly checking on each other,
Mhm.
constantly communicating with each other.
Well, that's the kind of the thing, right? Is it's like it's not a static thing. Relationships aren't static. Relationships are fluid. It's always constantly changing, right? Any sort of event can happen, and it can immediately change something, right? My mom went from working to not working, and being like, I want to own a store. And my mom has never owned a store, never had anything to wanted to do with owning a store. And my old
Mhm.
man being, the fucking, the to me the pinnacle of like that's a man, that's a dude, right? Immediately
Mhm.
he's just like, okay, how do we do it? What do you want us to do? What are we gonna do? And my mom was like, well, there's a store that the lady's selling, and I kind of want to buy it and move it into town. My dad's like, done. We're gonna do it. And that was it. It was just done. We're doing this.
Because he knows that she's serious. She's not. It's not like a fluid idea. She's not just like let's upend our lives for no reason. He trusts that she knows what she's doing.
Exactly.
You
And
know.
I see that, and I'm sitting there whenever I see, because whenever they do anything like that, because like there's been times when before COVID hit, they were supposed to go to England for one of my niece's weddings, and my
Hmm.
dad started putting money aside each week for it. And
Yeah.
there was there was weeks where like my dad was like, I was like, it's gonna be a struggle week, but it's
Yeah.
like it's like, your mom wants to go over there and see, and wants to be over there for the wedding, so we're gonna do this, you know. And it's like I love seeing that it like for them it truly is them versus everyone else. It doesn't matter what other people say, it doesn't matter what is happening, as long as he is happy, as long as she is happy, and as long as they together are doing their thing, that's all that fucking matters to them. And I love it because it's so like it's funny seeing my mom put up stuff on Facebook because she mainly uses Facebook for a business. It's
Yeah.
it's awesome seeing her post stuff, and then my dad immediately within like 5-10 minutes, it's posted again.
Because he
It's
knows.
just like that's it.
He
It's
knows
just
it makes her happy. It's little acts that make people
Mhm.
happy. That's like the secret. There's everyone's like, what's the secret? It's like giving a shit about the other person is the secret.
Mhm. Yeah,
That is like that really is the secret, and it sounds like so easy.
right.
But
It does. It's one of the. It's the typical thing, right? Of like, it's like, oh well, what is it? Like, oh, what's the success for this? And it's like, well, you got to eat right and you got to work out. Oh
yeah,
yeah, it's that simple, huh? And it's like,
yeah.
yeah, it's like, success for this. Okay, don't be an asshole and support each other.
Like I was talking to Greek. Well, I wasn't talking to. I was listening to him talk
Hmm.
and talk Greek God X, and they were like, "How'd you get so thin?" Blah 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 blah. He's like, "I walked. I like walked until my feet bled. Like
Jesus,
I
that's
just
aggressive.
walked everywhere. Like I walked everywhere." And I was like, "That's really it." Because I'm, you know, I I'm sitting down most days. I'm not getting up. I'm not walking. But also, I haven't been gaining because I haven't been snacking too much. But like, I just know like I could be more healthy if I just like walked places.
Well, so like that's like my thing is like, okay, going on to let's hit that real quick. Let's just while it's here,
Yeah.
let's hit it. Okay. Um, I'm 6'4". When I before I went to the ER, I was 377 pounds. No
Mm-hmm.
shame in saying it. I was a fat fuck.
Huh.
Um, I I've lost weight before. I've done it multiple different ways. The biggest thing for weight loss, and this goes out there for
Mm-hmm.
anyone listening, anyone that would listen, anyone that just needs someone to say something to them to hopefully spark something so they get their shit going. Is this? You have to enjoy what you're doing. If you don't, it will fail. I know what I need to do workout wise in order to lose weight, gain muscle. I know exactly what I need to do. I can write a plan for fucking anyone. This will work. Boom. If they don't want to do it, it will fail. And it's that simple. So my workouts are very simple. It's all what I want to do. It's very simple based. My eating habits, very simple. I'm set to this many calories. What can I eat? Whatever the fuck I want. But I can't go over that calorie limit. I cannot go over it. I can be under it by like 500, 800, but I cannot go over it. And it's that simple. And it doesn't need to be some extravagant thing. It really is that simple in the grand scheme of things. So for anyone out there that is struggling with anything like that, it just needs to be broken down and simplified to that. Is this, you have to make it something so it's enjoyable for you. It's not going to be something like, oh, I don't want to go and do yoga today. No, when I'm like, yeah, when I was like, I'm going to go do yoga today. Makes my body feel good.
My wife got addicted to yoga. I can't do yoga myself because I have ADHD. I can't sit still for that long.
So you would enjoy the DDP yoga stuff because it's 22 minutes. He talks you through everything as you're doing it. Boom, 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 and you're constantly moving. There's very little like just you're here.
You know, I always said what would it be for me to get more active? And I've said this so much. I go, I just need to be doing something with a purpose. I can't run on a treadmill just to run on a treadmill. I can't lift weights just to lift weights. I want to just like I want to play a sport.
Well, so
like that's when I used to get most athletic. Is I used to play rugby in high school, and I was like best shape I've ever been in.
Yeah, well, like so for me, right? So, this is one a few people know about. I have a composition book, right? And I bought this about midway through the first week of me doing stuff, right? On the front, it just says Husky's Health Book, and then it just says, because of course this was right around when Justice League came out, so it says I'm not alone and I'm not broken on the front, just as a constant reminder. And then on the inside, literally on the inside, and I'll show it for everyone fucking here, right? So you can kind of see it. Okay, you just can't fully see it, right? Reasons why I'm doing this, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Dark Side is at the bottom. There's 7 reasons, and then the very last one, and it's the biggest one written there, is for yourself. Because I know for a fact that I have to do this for myself. I know that. That's fucking simple. But these other reasons, and like I said, some people know what they are. I've shown these to them. Some people don't. These are the reasons why I'm doing this. And I read this, no joke, read this every single fucking morning. I wake up, go take a piss, weigh myself, get my clothes on, grab my book, read this, and then I go do whatever I need to do. Because it's for me, it's that. There needs to be a reason. And like I said, I know I need to do it for myself, but there needs to be something else that I'm doing it for as well. And that's my biggest thing. And that's why I have these, in the order that I have them, for the reasons that I have them for. And, for me, it's that simple. I'm a very simple dude.
I feel you.
But relationships.
And I'm happy you're doing shit for yourself.
Well, that's the thing is like I said, I know I need to, but being like for instance, like in there, it's like, doing it for my future, doing it for her, doing it for my family, my friends, community, for those struggling, it's like those things give it power. If you can give something power, then it's harder to give up. Because doing it for yourself, there's a power to that, but it's not to me, it's not as strong as doing it for, a reason like this, right? It's here, boom. This is why I'm doing this, right? This gives me more power than just doing it for myself. I know what I need to do for myself. I went to fucking school for it. I know exactly what I need to do for myself. The fucking 3 leftover My Cookie Dealer half-pound cookies over here aren't what's going to get me in better shape.
They're going to make you happy, though.
Right? And that's the biggest thing, is it comes down to being happy and making it so the plan works around everything. Like I said, I know exactly what I need to do workout-wise. I know exactly what I need to do for all these different steps. But I've tailored my plan around me being happy, me being able to do this and continue to do this, because I'm almost on 3 months now straight of doing this. And it's just sticking to the fucking plan. I have a plan. Why do I have the plan? I just told you the reasons why. Boom, 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 boom. What am I doing? This is what I'm doing. Done. It's that simple.
What was I going to say? There was a time I was actually going to leave all social media. But I was like, even if I don't know it, there would be a lot of people that would be disappointed. There would be a lot of people that would really it would really kill them if they stopped seeing me there. Because a lot of the shit I have to say are things that they absorb and that they do that, really means a lot to them in their lives. So I'm like, why would I stop? Why for 3 people who I hate would I stop doing something that helps, let's say, 15 other people?
Exactly.
Why would I let them win? And that's why I haven't like left. And that's why I still say all the stupid funny garbage I say. That's why,
Yeah, I mean,
keep
that's
streaming occasionally.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Is it's like, it's, and I've said it before. Let me phrase that. I've said this multiple of fucking time. I have such a negative look at myself, right? Mental image of myself. I never thought I'd be the where I am right now with any of this. But as it's coming on, the image is becoming more clear. It's becoming more positive as the years have gone on now. And it's one of those things where, like, I've had people come in before and, say stupid shit. And immediately it's one of those things where it's like, well, that's fucking uncalled for. But then immediately it's like, I know at least 7 people that will tell you you're a fucking idiot. And, immediately back me and be like, yeah, you're fine, Husky. Don't worry about it. For every single person that's come in and said something negative. So it's one of those things, like, and that right there is the relationship that you have with your chat and with your community.
It's a relationship
Circle.
with community.
Circle, not a triangle or a square, but a circle. I hope everyone's getting that reference. By the way, like me doing that from I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Reference from an hour ago.
Well, no, it's from I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
I would not get that reference.
Oh, really? No. So yeah,
obscure movie.
Yeah, so it says it when they go to get married at the Vegas chapel. Like, I think it's Rob Schneider's character. He's like, it's not, love is like this. Love is like this. It's not a square. It's not a triangle, but it's a circle. But anyways, yeah. So relationships. That's I feel like that's basically it. It's one of those things. You can talk about it for fucking ever, but it always boils down to kind of the same things. You gotta be you gotta be willing. You gotta be willing to put in the time. You gotta be willing to
You just gotta be willing to be open and to not give up on it, because it will never be perfect. You just got to keep working on it.
Exactly, and it's one of those things. If you give up on it, this is just me. This is from the big man. If I say something, if I say, like, I love you, or, I love you, or, I'm in that mindset, right? Like, boom, that's it. If I give up on that, then then I'm lying to myself at that point. If I give up on it, I'm now lying to myself, because it's not that I don't love you. It's something else. It's something that's not that. And it's one of those things that it's tough.
Yeah.
But if I don't know. It's tough. It's never easy. It's always tough. And it's always from my broken experiences of having girls use me for thousands of dollars, cheat on me and then call me and tell me that they love me. And stab me in the back with one of my friends. From all of those positive experiences that I've had, it always works out in the end. It's just you can't give up on it. If it's
the thing is, though, when shit like that happens, you kind of always knew.
Yeah,
there's always hints, little things here and there.
Yeah.
It's always you're not really building towards the same thing. The human mind is beautiful because it can convince you that anything is real.
Yeah, you don't gotta tell me that. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. Moving on, DC Comics versus media. That's
some shit to talk about with this one.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I know for a fact that you recently had a position.
Not that position.
Okay.
I'm not
I was gonna say I wasn't sure if that was one that we were gonna talk about. Okay.
No. I hate the DC movie universe. I really do. I've seen everything and I still hate it to this day.
See, I love it. I love everything about it.
Why?
Because it's real.
Oh, it's not though.
But it is though.
It's not.
It is. It's more real than destroying an entire city and then immediately asking for shawarma.
Yeah.
Everything.
Okay. It's more real than Marvel, but it's not more real than the comic. You know?
Well, so true, but then also we can also do that with everything. The to me, if you were to go straight book, comic to media, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not good, and we've seen that. It's called the Green Lantern movie. That was written specific by Jeff Johns.
I didn't mind the Green Lantern movie. It was also
So
bad for other reasons
true,
other
but
than that.
Jeff Johns is known, one as a scumbag, but two
Yeah.
as one of the kind of leaders in the actual DC comics, where like actual comics.
Yeah.
But yet anything that he's attached to basically is just a fucking absolute shit show. To me, it's one of those things that like I like the DC. I'm gonna just say the DC universe, okay, and refer to the movies. I love the DC universe in the movies because it hits on things that are obvious things, but as soon as you make it graphic and show it, it changes. It kind of changes your perspective of it, right? Man of Steel. Hated Superman. I've hated Superman for the longest time. Man of Steel made me like Superman.
I like Superman. I hated Man of Steel.
So okay, so why? Why did you hate Man of Steel?
I hated Man of Steel was the first one, right?
Yes, the very first one in the entire
the very first one. Okay. Something I've always hated, superhero comics versus superhero movies, is the denial of being a hero for 3/4 of the movie, then being a hero for 1/4. 75% is I can't do this. I'll never be a hero. Blah 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 blah. I just want to be a normal guy. I can't stand that for like fucking 90 minutes. I can't. I'm bored.
So my thing is this. Is
like
that
you're not building up to you being a hero. We know you're going to be a hero.
Yeah, so that's the problem. Is that you now went from this is the very first Superman comic book where we learn who he is to 2020, this is Superman. The movies, especially Man of Steel, right, was the beginning of the entire thing. So you have to tell that origin story. You have to go into these details. It is him learning about his powers. It is him being like, should I do this? My dad said I shouldn't.
Batman versus Superman, he's still like denying that he should be Superman.
Because yes, so it's the.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. The Justice League movie.
Whoa.
Justice League for so long.
Whoa. First off, whoa. Okay. Man of Steel, he's becoming Superman. Batman vs. Superman, he's now labeled as an alien, and it goes into it as the movie goes on. He's labeled as an alien. Should he really be doing this? Should he have the power to do this? If you're a superhero and the entire world is against you at this point, yeah, you're going to be smiling, big smiles, running around doing all your stuff. No, he's upset. He's like, I'm doing all these good things, but all they talk about is this. And then, of course, in the Justice League movie, I'm not talking about the Justice League from 2017. I'm talking about the true Justice League movie that Zack Snyder put out this past year. Shows the revival of Superman, shows him becoming the Superman that we know, and continuing that journey where now, after 3 movies, comic arc, character development, after 3 movies, now we have a Superman. And that's what this has all been leading up to. It's not a 1 movie done, 2 movie done. It's a character development thing. They've been developing this character for years. You grow attached to it, you learn him. It's through that. And that's my biggest thing.
And then they make 1 movie where he actually is Superman, and now they're just gonna wipe the whole motherfucker clean anyways.
Well, that's Warner Brothers, first of all, right? We can't argue that. That's Warner Brothers.
I know we can't go against Warner Brothers. The problem I had, this is the big problem I had with them, was the killing of Zod.
So you said that?
The biggest issue with me.
I have no problem with that.
I had a huge. I revere Superman versus the Elite. I don't know, I don't know if you've read that comic at all.
Read the comic, watched the animated movie.
I watched the animated movie, exactly. I worship it.
Okay. So
because that is my idea of what a superhero should be.
Okay, so now is that Superman in the beginning of him being Superman in that movie, or is that Superman being Superman?
But even in the
No, 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 no,
beginning
no, no,
of
no,
him
no, no,
being
no, 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 no.
Superman.
In the beginning of him being Superman, Superman Volume 1, in the comic book, on the front cover is him lifting a car. Do you know what is in the background of him lifting the car?
There's a guy.
People running away in fear.
But he didn't kill anybody.
In Christopher Reeve's Superman, he kills Zod.
Christopher Reeve's Superman,
My thing is this.
So hard.
This is my thing. Okay.
It's an ideal.
It is, but how do you come up with said ideal? Do you just that's it, or is there a spark that comes up with that idea?
Okay, it's like, if you.
I'm just saying, right? He kills Zod because there's no other choice.
Okay. Let's
right.
Let's put it this way. Should I learn not to commit domestic violence by first failing to not commit domestic violence? It's like,
okay, so now,
the argument is like he learned not to kill by killing and feeling really shitty about it.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, so this is the other thing, right? So in that situation, he flies up in the air. Cool, more destruction happens. More people die. He covers his eyes. Nope, that doesn't work because we already saw that happen earlier with Zora, not Zora-El, but Fiora Zod or Zell, whatever the hell the name is. She covers Superman's eyes. Superman basically blasts right through the hand. Okay? There is only one option in that thing. Zod even says it. I am here to protect Krypton. That is all he has. And he breaks it down. I'm going to kill everyone. Unless you stop me, I will kill everyone. So, with that knowledge, Superman in his first year, what is he supposed to do? Let him kill everyone?
Batman lets people kill people.
Yeah.
And then he goes, because...
but now you're changing it to Batman. This is Superman first year going up against Zod, and Zod is straight up said to you, "I'm going to kill everyone you love. I'm going to kill everyone on the earth."
Find a way, and he does eventually in the comics that he sends him to the negative zone.
Yes,
like he finds a way.
So your 90-minute movie that you're already bored with, that you just said, you now want to make longer so he can find a way to stop him. Meanwhile, while finding this way, he's already killing all the rest of the planet. Right?
In the Justice League show, is
this Superman at the beginning of him being Superman, or is this Superman in the Justice League show where he's already Superman?
We can't just say he's inexperienced.
Yes, we can.
That's because you don't.
You
just
100%
when
can.
You're inexperienced.
But now
you have your morals when you start, and you keep those morals
throughout
your time being the hero.
So
why would you kill in the beginning and then say, "Oh, I don't like how that feels," and then vow to never kill again?
So you're saying that Superman? Hold on, Mike. So you're telling me Superman should just let Zod kill the entire Earth while Superman tries to figure something out?
He should figure out a way, and I'm sure he will. Or he already thought of a way because he knows that Zod is coming back.
So Zod tells him at the beginning of their fight, "I'm going to kill everyone you love. I'm going to kill everyone on this earth." So
what does that...
So what you're saying, though, is he needs to find a way. You were immediately told, "I'm going to kill everyone on earth," and he's going to do it. So now I have to stop fighting him, let him kill everyone. Meanwhile, while he's killing everyone, I'm going to then find a way to save everyone by not killing him.
I think they should have found a way.
He has to find a way.
I think he could have thought of something. There's a million things he could have thought of that wasn't
such
killing
as what?
Him. It's so... No. This is the problem with the movies. Is that you just don't think. It's just the easiest solution you can come to. The darkest solution. They don't even think in the future about how he could have done something differently because they don't care enough.
So
Superman in the animated series, Superman in the comics, even Superman at the very beginning avoided doing all of these things.
So here's
why can't he in 2020? 2021.
So were you okay with Iron Man killing Ironmonger? Just
I
throwing
don't
it
know
out
what
there.
that is.
The very first Iron Man movie, him killing his villain. Are you okay with that?
He's also not Superman.
No, hold up. Are you okay with that?
I'm not okay with any superhero. Every superhero killing somebody has always led to like a Justice Lord's alternate reality where they become gods that lord over people.
True,
like every single one.
Hold up.
They talk about this.
True and false, though. True and false, though.
In 2017 or 18 or something, they just decided, fuck it, let's let him kill people.
So this is the thing, right?
When did it become decided?
Okay, so Superman doesn't kill Zod. Superman lets Zod kill everybody. Superman finds a way to
kill everybody. He figures out a way to stop him.
Okay, so while figuring out a way to stop him, how are you stopping him from killing everyone?
You're executing the thing you thought of to stop him from killing people.
Okay, so here, ready for this? Ready for this, Mike? Okay, I'm gonna kill everyone. I'm gonna go do it right now. You now have to, within that 20 seconds that I just said that, figure out a way to stop me. Go.
I will do I will tackle the shit out of you, and I will do everything I can to stop you from killing people. Will I kill you? No.
Toss, dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
I tackle you.
Okay, I toss you away. Dead. There's 3 more people.
You can't toss me.
Yes, I can.
I tackled you.
Tossed you. Moved you out of the way. Dead. Supervision. Dead. Those 3 people are dead. All those people are dead. Dead. Super speed. 2 dead. All those people are dead. This is the problem.
What storytelling is this?
This is the
what is the moral?
So what storytelling are we telling? This is
what
the story.
Are we doing?
This is the character development. And that's the thing that you have been denying this entire time. Characters have to develop. Characters have to evolve. You can't just say, Superman's good. End.
Okay.
You can't say
let's
that.
Say, what about Batman, what's it called? Fucking branding people on his forehead.
Okay,
what does that do?
So Batman, first off, is branding vigilantes. Batman in this universe is 20 years of experience, is not in a right set of mind because of Dick Grayson dying. He's beaten the shit out of Joker, which is comic accurate. He almost killed them. And this is a thing, as a comic fan, once Jason Todd dies in the comics, Batman becomes ultra violent and he starts beating the shit out of criminals, badly hurting them, and he starts branding them. This is a comic thing. Next question.
It goes against.
No, it doesn't. I just
because his idea.
Mike. I just said this is a comic accurate thing, and you just said that goes against his idea.
Okay, now putting all of that aside.
No.
What does Batman want to do with villains? What does he want to do? Does he want to put them in jail? Does he put them in jail?
That's the thing. We are finding this out. This is a grizzled veteran Batman. He's been through. I'm telling you, he's been through the shit. Comic,
what does he do? Where does he bring?
He puts him in Arkham.
What is Arkham?
Arkham is the home for insane, basically.
Yes. What do they do at Arkham?
They try to treat him.
They rehabilitate him. Why would he brand them for the rest of their life as criminals, but rehabilitate them?
As I just said. Wait, Mike, you're ignoring half the stuff I'm saying. I'm just letting you know that right now. After Dick Grayson dies, he becomes ultra violent and starts doing this. This isn't a Batman that's been doing this for 20 years. This is a Batman that just recently started doing this. So you were ignoring.
What is the point of it?
What is the point of it is that he is now losing it. This is the thing. You are ignoring all character development that Zack Snyder was trying to do. That is the main thing I can say right now. You are ignoring all of the character development. Why
is he even building these characters like this?
Because I just said it. You don't. I do. You have to do something different. What are we going to do? Another Christian Bale beginning of Batman bullshit? No. We're going to do a different version of Batman that is comic accurate, has been in the comics. People are ignoring that, but because it's Batman, everybody clings on to their favorite Batman. People are refusing to just move on and be like, okay, this is a new universe. This is how this universe is. This is how the things fit into it. Go. If you put Heath Ledger's Joker in the DCEU, he dies within 10 minutes.
I didn't like Heath Ledger's Joker.
I didn't either. But you see what I'm saying, though? You're ignoring the entire thing, which is...
Do you like Jared Leto's Joker?
I do like Jared Leto's Joker. I like Jared Leto's Joker a lot.
You like Jared Leto's Joker?
Yes.
Ugh.
Because, okay, Jared Leto's Joker versus Christian Bale's Batman. Who wins?
Christian Bale's Batman.
Wrong. Leto.
Ugh.
100%.
Leto's Joker is so... Ugh.
What? Because he has tattoos and he's insane. You know the
No.
you know the Jared Leto Joker that we have is the most comic accurate one that we've had in recent history.
No,
Yes.
I wouldn't say that.
I'm not like saying it. I'm factually saying it.
What time frame of comics are you looking at? Are you looking at the 80s comics that were dark and shitty for no reason?
I'm looking at the comics as of right now, where the Joker recently cut his face off to escape Arkham.
That's because the comic books right now are like, I've been reading the comics right now, and they're trying to put it in line with the movies.
Within the past 10, 15 years, DC, the actual DC comics, basically since the New 52, has gotten darker and has just been like, yes, this is what we do. And it is far outselling Marvel right now. These movies that we have are just exemplifying that and being like, okay, yes, we need to do something different because nobody gives a fuck about seeing the same thing. Everything fits into its own universe. And that's the biggest issue, is that people refuse to acknowledge that. Is that everything fits into its own universe. You know why no one gave a fuck about half the Marvel properties?
I liked a lot of the Marvel properties.
Most people didn't give a fuck about the Marvel properties because there's no legacy, there's no history, therefore no one can relate it to anything. If you go out there and ask someone, who's your favorite Iron Man? Everyone says Robert Downey Jr. No one says the shitty version that was on the TV movie. But if you go out there and ask people who their favorite Batman is, everybody's got a different fucking Batman. Because there's a legacy here. And that's the main problem with
there's
DC.
only really one Batman.
Yes, Ben Affleck.
No, Kevin, no.
No, you were 100%.
Conroy.
Nope.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy.
Nope.
Truest Batman.
Wrong.
The only Batman.
No.
Batman.
Yes, Affleck. It's 100% Affleck. 100%.
And the whole thing went down. The whole thing went downhill after the New 52. I thought the New 52 was a shitty idea, and then the rest. I just kind of. I still kept up with it because I love comics, but I get. You know, have you ever been in video game voice comms?
Yes. Yes.
Have you heard the things children are saying?
Yes. It's the same shit that we were saying back in the Halo 3 days.
Was it though?
Yes, 100%. People obviously forget the old Xbox Halo days.
I remember the old. I came on during 2.
Yeah, see, that shit was brutal.
It was brutal, but it wasn't. I remember it like it was yesterday. I used to play Halo 3, Halo ODST, Gears 2. Like I remember it was an OG back in the day. And it's just like media's gotten darker because obviously that's what people want to see.
But see, so you say that, but yet that's the biggest criticism that DC has had. Is it's too dark.
It's dark it feels dark for no reason.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so Superman's the last surviving son of Krypton, sees his dad die. He has to have a smile on his face the entire movie. Batman has lost both of his parents, and he's an alcoholic. He's been 20 years in Gotham, lost his main sidekick. He's got a smile the entire movie. Aquaman is from both. He's not a part of the Earth or the humans or the Atlanteans. He has no real home. He's got a smile the entire movie. Wonder Woman has not been in Themyscira. She can't go back to Themyscira. She's lost Steve Trevor twice as of what we know now. Has to smile DC movies are dark. The DC universe is dark. That's how it is.
I would rather watch for half an hour them work through it than half an hour of them moping and then 10 minutes of them getting through it. I would rather watch 30 minutes of just them working through their trauma through being a hero than them they just mope, Husky. They just mope.
But this is the thing. You're not. You just said like you'd rather see 10 minutes. Okay, cool. So Henry Cavill in the bar scene when he's working as a bar person, then he does. He does that. He goes and he saves the rift at the end. There, he goes and saves the different survivors from the burning down factory. He's moving the astronaut ship. He's doing all of these things, but you're not acknowledging them because you would rather spend the time to acknowledge the mopiness. Because I should be happy that the entire world hates me and doesn't think I should be a superhero anymore. Of course you're going to be upset about that, man. Like, come on.
Do you know what it's like to be hated?
Yes.
By a very large number of people?
Yes. It's not fun.
It's not. But also, you just go about your day, you know?
Which is
you don't sit there and acknowledge it every second of every day. You don't make hold on. But you work through it on your own.
Yes, which is him saving the people of the flood, saving the people in the astronaut from the spaceship that blows up, saving the people on the ship, saving the people of the Mexico. I can keep doing this, Mike. It's the same thing. He's still doing his thing, but is he going to mope? Yes, because that's what you do in those. That's what's going to happen in those situations.
It's a 2-hour movie, and he's moping for 90 of them.
No, he isn't. There's plenty of scenes where Superman is smiling and people just refuse to acknowledge it because it's easy to just say, oh, he's just sad.
He's smiling, but he's still not being Superman.
Because he isn't. Mike, he's not Superman yet. It's character development. You can't just say Superman.
Why am I going to see a Superman movie with 10 minutes of Superman and 110 of him being a piece of shit?
Who said he's a piece of shit? I just said he's saving people. You just said he's a piece of shit. He's saving all of these people. But now he's a piece of shit because he saved... Barely?
The one thing I'll say about the Green Lantern movie is 20 minutes into the movie, he's Green Lantern, doing Green Lantern stuff.
Cool, so there's zero character development.
No, he developed it. He was already Green Lantern. He already had all of this inside of him.
That's not character development. Saying hey, there you go. That doesn't make character development. Saying here, boom, this is it. That isn't character development, Mike. That's just saying here, this is this. This is my problem with media. Media force feeds you everything you need to know within the first 20 minutes of a movie, which is what you just said. They force-fed everything to you in the Green Lantern movie. Instead of making you think through a movie, instead of making you go, oh yeah, that makes sense.
It's just they know what you want to watch. Listen. I don't want to spend... Okay, let's put it this way. Where you're at right now.
Yes.
Where you're at right now, your code, your sense of morality.
Mm-hmm.
When did it develop?
It's been developing because it doesn't stop.
It's just who you are because it's been your entire life.
But yes.
Why not show you living your life by your code rather than how you got to that code?
Because
why don't we experience you as a person rather than having to watch every single thing?
This is what you just said. You want a 10-minute movie that just shows, boom, there's Superman, versus an hour-long movie that shows you this is how Superman becomes Superman. That's what you just said.
If I see a Superman movie, I want to see Superman.
Oh, okay, you saw Superman.
No, I saw some mopey guy that doesn't want to be Superman.
No, you saw Superman. What is his name? Is his name Clark Kent?
His name is Clark Kent.
Is there Kal-El?
It's both.
Is he the last son of Krypton?
Yes.
Does he go by the name Superman in the movie?
He does at the end.
Oh, does he go by the name? Yes, right? Then you saw Superman. You saw Superman. This is the problem, and this is what I said earlier, and yet again, you've just completely gone over it. DC has a legacy. You know their characters. 10 years ago, you ask someone who Groot is, they look at you weird and ask you, what the fuck are you talking about? DC has a
Really?
legacy. If you say Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, everyone knows who you're talking about. And this is the main thing with DC is DC can try to change your like
Mhm.
I'm going to make a Superman movie, but it's going to be a Superman movie that shows him fighting against it because he doesn't know if he should do it because of the way that his life has gone so far. Because no other movie, DC wise, Superman wise, has shown this. This is something completely new, completely different than nobody is used to. They can do it with Iron Man or with fucking, Peanut Butter Man or whoever the fuck it is because no one's heard of them, right? If you
Yeah.
try to do something different or something unique with a DC character, everyone is going to either one of two ones. People are going to like it, people are going to furiously fucking hate it because it's not their Superman. And that is the biggest issue with DC comic versus movie. And it's one of the reasons why DC is always going to be better than Marvel. DC's characters are lore based and it is like iconic, right? I can't wait for the next Wolverine to be cast.
Why?
Because that is going to be the exact same thing that we've been talking about for the last 20 minutes. The legacy of Batman, the legacy of Superman, the legacy of Wonder Woman. We have that on DC. We've had it for over 60 fucking years on each one of them. Marvel hasn't had that yet. They have their first two in Iron Man and in Wolverine, right? As soon as the new one gets cast, immediately it's going to be the same thing. That's not my Wolverine. Or, yeah, I like this Wolverine. And that's the biggest thing, is like Batman. Adam West Batman, right? Just fucking goofy. Let's just be honest here. Just fucking goofy.
On Goofy.
The Burton, Keaton, Clooney, all those ones, right?
Mhm.
Those Batmans were just, hey, here's Batman. They didn't really tell you anything about it. It's just here's Batman. Everybody kind of knows who Batman is right here. Batman. Right?
Mhm.
Christian Bale. This is Batman from the beginning. This is the beginning of Batman. This is him growing up, like that sort of thing. Right? Okay, cool. But as soon as you say Batman, he's been in it for 20 years. He's ultra violent, ultra gruesome. This is the Dark Knight comic book version of Batman mixed with after Death in a Family Batman. Everybody loses their fucking minds. But it's accurate to the comics. It's a different version. It's unique. Is it everyone's unique? No, it isn't. But it's unique. And that's the thing that DC is struggling with right now, is that they have to kind of make these things unique because we've seen it all already. Right? My biggest thing that I'd said at one point is I would love to see, and this is back when Warner Brothers wasn't fucking with literally everything DC tried to do. When Zack was just doing his thing, I wanted to see Justice League movie go off how it was, right? Introduce Darkseid. Boom, there he is. He's there. We can fight him a couple years down the line, right? Beautiful. Done.
Yeah.
I wanted that to be the second Justice League movie to be Justice League. God, what's the name of the movie? It's not Crisis on Infinite Earth. It's one of the ones there where they fight off against Earth 2, where they go up against the crime syndicate.
It's the Syndicate, yeah.
I wanted them to do that in the movie universe because that would be a fucking game changer because people haven't seen any of that shit.
That would be really cool.
I had always said that I wanted Matt Damon to be Owlman just because then you have the Matt and Ben connection there. I thought that'd be fucking cool.
That would be cool.
But you know what I'm saying though? So like that's my thing with DC is because I fucking love everything that DC has done from start to finish. Everything is unique to its own separate universe. The universe we have right now is so fragmented because of what Warner Brothers has done. It's hard for a lot of people to enjoy it, and that's the biggest issue. But the thing is you look at it, DC is trying to make things realistic. They're trying to make things dark because that's what their universe is. But they're trying to do it in unique ways. Look at Shazam, for instance, right? Shazam is fun. It's bright, right? But then tell me how you're going to make a teenager who turns into a superhero dark. There's elements of it in the movie, right? His mom abandons him. His mom doesn't want him. Savannah is super fucking dark if you really think about it. And that's the thing. DC is dark, but each movie has its own unique flair. Aquaman is a fucking underwater Indiana Jones movie, basically. But there's elements of it that are dark. When they go to the trench, that's fucking, kind of weird and scary, right? There's different elements of it. He lost his mother because King Orm basically kills her, but then we find out it doesn't, right? All these different things, right? He kills Manta's dad without even thinking about it, right? There's all these different things. And that's the thing, is that like that's one of the reasons why I like DC, is because DC is like, when DC is at its best, it's fully embracing what it does. And what it does is dark and realistic. That's the way I've always thought about it. It's dark and realistic. You look at what just came out with the Snyder Cut. I assume you've watched it.
I have.
In my opinion, the Snyder Cut is the single best movie that has ever been made. And I'm not saying that because I'm a DC fanboy. I'm not saying it because I'm a Zack Snyder fan. I'm saying it because the pacing of the movie was impeccable. The storytelling is impeccable. The fact that there's just so much heart in moments in there, right? And that's what it is. It is like, it's. I mean, fuck.
Pizza pie.
But you know what I'm saying, though? It's
Yeah.
it's tough. It really is. Because it's one of those things. As soon as the next Iron Man comes out, there's going to be flack for it. As soon as the next Wolverine that comes out, there's going to be flack for it. Because those characters haven't had a legacy. DC characters have a legacy that everyone knows. Oh, that's not my Superman. Oh, that's not my Batman. And it's the thing where it's like, it is, but it's not the one that you're used to. And that's why I proposed the question of the Joker and the Batman thing. Right?
Mhm.
Is because if you switch those universes around, switch those characters in the universes, it doesn't make sense. Right? You look at the Joker, the Leto Joker, Ben Affleck Batman, those two fit. It fits in that universe. You look at Deathstroke in that universe, it fits. That Deathstroke in the freaking Bat Bale movie with the hockey pads, he's fucking killing everything. Imagine putting that. Here we go. Imagine putting Tom Hardy's Bane versus Ben Affleck's Batman. Like,
That would be sick.
I'm sorry, it's a shit show, but Ben's Batman is going to beat the living fuck out of him. In my opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, also, it's one of those things where, like, yes, Marvel went to Disney, and it's just like, oh, this is what we're doing, cool, and that's it. Warner Brothers said, hey, this is what we wanted. Zach said, this is what I want to do. And they were like, I don't know about that. And then immediately kind of destroyed what was happening. Which, of course, now, in today's day and age, now we're finding out more and more that AT&T and stuff behind the scenes are getting shaken up.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing with that is, and I'm just saying this as a Snyder fan, for people out there that fucking hate Snyder and his movies for no fucking reason, we don't want anything DC-based to stop. We just want our stuff to continue. That's it.
I feel that.
Our biggest thing with the whole release Snyder Cut thing was we wanted his vision to be shown, because we knew, and if you watch the two movies, it's fucking kind of drastically, ungodly drastically different, right? Like, we just want his vision to be continued. Zach just announced, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, that in Justice League 2, we were going to have the female Furies from Apocalypse invade Themyscira, and there was going to be like a 10 to 15 minute fight scene of them invading Themyscira and the Amazons versus the female Furies. Like, that would have been fucking unreal with the way the Zach shoots fucking fight scenes.
Really cool, actually.
Right? Like, I
just
see it, and I'm sitting there, and it's like, okay, this is a cash cow, if there ever fucking is one. Right? Easy cash cow right now. But they're not doing it. Therefore, it isn't a cash cow, so therefore it's an ego thing. I mean,
well, that happens when, not everybody can be Disney,
Good, I don't want to be. Right? Like, it's one of those things, like, it's like, not everyone can be them. Okay, so don't. Be your own thing. Batman vs. Superman, that got released in theaters. Majority of people did not like it. The Ultimate Edition, that adds 30 minutes of context of Lex Luthor kind of pulling strings behind the doors and Lois actually, being a journalist. that version everyone likes because it fills in the gaps that they decided were not needed. Justice League versus the Justice League. We've already seen the fucking difference that one has been, and the only other one that we know or that we have right now that isn't fully done is Suicide Squad.
I mean, they've done Suicide Squad.
They have, but that was another one that was torn to pieces because of Warner Brothers. In the original version of it, the Ayers wrote, with the help of Zack Snyder, Enchantress is being controlled by Steppenwolf. And they're trying to open a boom tube to Earth. And that would have introduced Steppenwolf to Justice League, which was the next movie. Diablo doesn't die in the end. They don't make Killer Croc ask for BET at the end of the movie. Right? There's an actual like romantic part of between Deadshot and Harley Quinn, which we know is comic accurate as well. There's a lot of that stuff that Warner Brothers was like, no, we need to scrap that and do this. This started to come out now that we're finding out more and more of it, and it's just like, you guys basically shot yourselves in the fucking foot at this point. And I don't know, that's my thing.
I never thought about it like that.
Because that's my thing. Is like I said, I've never been a Superman fan. This Superman I liked because it showed a Superman that was dealing with human things. And that's the thing that I kind of like about DC more than Marvel. Marvel are humans trying to become superheroes. DC is superheroes trying to become humans. And I think that is a unique thing, and it's a very special thing. Obviously, of course, we have Batman, but that's side, and that's a side thing. Superman trying to become a human. Wonder Woman trying to become a human, Aquaman trying to become a human, Cyborg trying to become a human, right? Like, it's a very unique niche thing. So it's to me anyway, it's very interesting seeing that. So like when you're saying like, oh, you didn't like those moments, I did, because it's a character he is a fucking god, right? If he everyone's always talked about it. If he wanted to, he could just fucking and kill everyone. I mean, shit, they've made how many goddamn movies or shows and games and different universes where Superman just snaps and loses and kills everyone, right?
Yes.
But him, dealing with this stuff, it's different. I don't know, man. That's my thing with it. I know that there's a difference. I see the difference between the medias, right? Between books and the movies, because of course I'm also a fan of the Arrowverse. And it's been funny for me with a fan of the Arrowverse, where it's like, okay, cool. Flash is introducing who this week? Mr. Terrific? Okay, cool. Hold up a sec. Amazon, Mr. Terrific, Volume 1, buy. Read it. Cool. I now know who Mr. Terrific is. On. Who the fuck is this guy? No.
Different dude.
Right? And it's one of those things. It's more of a, and it goes both ways. It's more of a representation almost of the character. It's a new telling of it, and that's kind of the thing, I guess, is that especially with DC, because there's so many different fucking versions. There's so many different universes that are so fucking cool, right? Like I honestly feel bad for people that are like, oh yeah, no, my Batman isn't like that, because it's like, cool. So you're not including Red Sun Batman. You're not including the Batman Who Laughs. Any of the Batmans from the the Evil event. Owlman. The one where Batman is actually Batwoman. Like all these different universes where all these different Batman happen. We can have that. And that's something that we have had with the TV show. They did Crisis on Infinite Earths, and they actually, I fucking applaud them. They connected everything that DC has done media-wise is now linked in that one TV show event. And that needs to be fucking applauded, and it doesn't get enough credit for. Because think about that. We have 60 years of DC live action, let's just say, right? Mm-hmm. The TV show connected everything. So now there is the multiverse.
Do you know what show I kept up with a lot from that? was because I fell off Arrow and Flash because I just like stopped caring. Legends of Tomorrow though has been a clutch show for them, and
Legends
I
was
think it's the most fun.
so that's I mean that's the thing, right? Like so for me, Flash I went on and off on. Arrow I loved from start to finish. Other than the final season, and season what is it 4? 4 season 4 we don't talk about, but Arrow I loved. I loved Arrow. Arrow was one of the ones that actually started. Arrow was one of the ones that started getting me into DC Comics. It was the Arrow TV show. The Arrow TV show, and then I bought my first ever comic book that I bought was hardcover Aquaman: The Trench, Volume 1 from the New 52. Legends is interesting because Legends evolved, and like Legends was like, yeah, this is what we do, and then I was like, oh, that's not really working. Okay, let's tweak it a little, and let's tweak it some more. Okay, this is working now. Cool. And I liked that. The only thing though is that I think
stopped
that
trying to be like other shows that they were doing.
exactly every one of the other shows are very, like Arrow is kind of Arrow of course is the human, the dark. Flash was like cool. We're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna add a speedster. But it's still the same thing. It's just with a speedster. Supergirl is, I hate to say it, no one cares. And then Legends comes along. It's like cool. We're gonna do that, but we're gonna do it with a bunch of the bad guys and different random people. And it's like, cool, okay, so now we're gonna add some funny stuff. Cool, now we're gonna add some magic. Cool, now we're gonna. And the only thing though is that I've heard that the most recent season is kind of meh.
I like the most recent season.
Really?
It's fun. The whole thing is just fun.
See, that's one of the things I've had. I've had this discussion with some other people. The fun thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, this goes down to preference, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, fun. If I want to have some fun, I can sit down and I'll watch fucking Biodome.
But are you gonna watch Biodome every day for the rest of your life?
No, I'm not going to watch Legends of Tomorrow for every day for the rest of my life either.
But you should have media that's just fun.
Oh, of course, yeah. But I mean, that's the thing, though, right? Is it's like and like I said, I think it all depends on the person, because like it's like for me, I prefer the sit down, think my way through the kind of the Snyder movies, especially Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman. Sitting down and watching them, and it's like okay, I can't just sit down and watch this. This is kind of I got to think my way through this a little bit. There's all these things happening. Okay, what is actually happening? Is that really happening? Who sent him that letter? Is this really going to play out like this? Holy shit, they just blew up the entire fucking thing. Superman doesn't know about it, but now the whole world knows that Superman was in there and everything blew up, so therefore it's Superman's fault. Like I like sitting my way through that. I don't like the movies or the shows where like you start watching and within the first 20 minutes, 10 minutes of the movie, they're like, so this is the good guy. This is the bad guy. You don't know it yet, but this is the bad guy. Look, the bad music's playing and he has a frown. This is the problem, and this is what they're gonna do. I can't stand that. I can't stand that sort of thing.
Sometimes you just need it, though.
True, and that's when I have Biodome and really stupid movies like that. Velocipaster. If I want to just sit down and just be like bored mindlessly and just kind of giggle my way through stuff, I'm gonna find something stupid to sit down and do that with. For me, with superhero movies or superhero shows, I want to sit down and I want to be entertained.
Yeah.
Right? That's my thing.
I feel you.
But I mean, and that's like I said, that's the other thing. Like, not the other thing, but kind of to wrap this one up is that like I think the comics and the media are all in its own thing. Right? It's almost like the multiverse, right? They're all in their own universe because it really is. It's that idea of okay, this is Batman. This is the basic understanding of who Batman is. Okay, you have the basic understanding. Cool. Here you go. You run with it and do what you want to do now. Or Superman, or Wonder Woman, and then that's how we get these beautiful and wonderful different versions of these characters. Right? I know someone like Green Lantern. There's, I know for a fact Xander in chat, his favorite Lantern is God, I can't fucking think of his name now. Jeez, Kyle Rayner. Right? His favorite Green Lantern is Kyle Rayner.
Yeah.
Right? That's also one of my favorite ones, but I also like Jon Stewart and Simon Baz.
I like Kyle Rayner's my favorite. I like Hal Jordan.
right? I mean, but it's one of those things. It would almost be ignorant to say, "Oh, that's not Green Lantern. Green Lantern's only Hal Jordan." No, man, there's all these other ones. Simon Badge, Jessica Cruz, Guy Gardner. You know, and like I don't know. That's my thing with it. Is that it's no matter what. I feel like DC's always going to get the bad rep over Marvel, and in my opinion, it's just because of the legacy that these characters have.
That could be.
I mean, Beast, like Beast Boy, not Beast Boy. Beast in X-Men, right? Everybody
Yes.
loves the Kelsey Grammer version. Let's just be honest here. He was in one fucking
It's
movie.
a good version.
He was in one fucking movie, and everyone loves that version over the other one. Mystique, everyone loves the original over the other one. And it's like there's so many of these ones in Marvel where you can even see that, right? Everyone loves the original versus the new one they've done, and there's so many of them. And DC has been doing this for years, not recently, but for years. And I think that's the biggest issue. Don't really think it's an issue, mind you, because I love it. I love all the different versions. But that's my thing with it. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
But moving on, final topic of the night. This was a topic that was originally thought up of by the lovely Dana. She one day was just like, "Hey, why don't you do a final kind of series on the podcast of where you talk about what people do for a living?" Never would have fucking thought of that. She's a genius. So, in the newest episode of this, it is my life as a...
I am a television post-production technician.
Also, I'm going to give you major props because there was almost no downtime between the two. A lot of people wait, and then they're like, "Wait, am I supposed to say what I do now?"
No. That's what you were trying to do.
Okay,
I saw that was the setup. I took the bait. I got you.
I appreciate it. There's been plenty of times where I'll do that, and then it's an awkward silence, and then I look at the mic, look at the camera, and then it's like, "Wait, am I supposed to say what I do for a living now?"
No, I'm giving you your soundbite. I got you.
All right, got you. All right, so I'm gonna quickly open up my Twitter because it is a mouthful, and I didn't write it down because I'm a professional. Television post-production tech. Okay.
Technician, yeah.
Okay. So you work with televisions.
I do not work with television. I work with the television.
Post-production tech.
I work at a TV network.
Okay, so post-production. So you're working with shows after they've already been filmed. I take it, right?
Okay, so TV is kind of interesting. So what you have. So let's say you're making. Let's say you want to make a superhero show. Okay.
Okay. Done.
Okay, you write a script, and you say this is what I wanna. This is what I want.
Okay.
So you go to the CW, and the CW goes to their parent affiliate, which is CBS, I believe, and they're like, "Good, we love it. We absolutely love it. We'll buy it." So the first thing they got to do is they're like, "Okay, what network is it going to be on?" That was the big problem with Supergirl. Was they at first they didn't put it on CW, they put it on
They put it on NBC, I think it was.
They put it on CBS.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, it was CBS, and also they put it.
CBS did not belong there. It was not the audience for it. And it
also
fucking flopped. And
wasn't
that's
it
the reason.
Was it Sunday night?
No, it was Tuesdays.
Was it Tuesdays? Because I thought that they put it on a bad time too.
No,
originally.
It was Tuesdays at 8.
Okay.
That is prime real estate. The prime time of the prime time is 9:00 p.m. And usually you want that on a Wednesday or a Thursday.
Okay.
You do not want it on a Friday because everyone's going outside. You don't want it on a weekend because no one's going to be watching TV on a weekend. You don't want it on a Monday.
No, it was Constantine. That's what they did to Constantine. They put Constantine on Sunday night.
Yeah. A lot of times we had a show that we really didn't like, but we paid a lot of money for it, so we had to run it through. So we just played it at 3 a.m. and we were like, "Sorry, you didn't really, get the views to keep us, interested in keeping the show." They were like, "You put it on at 3 a.m." We were like, "We don't want your show.
No, we don't really want this.
We don't want your fucking show." So we put it on at 3 a.m. so that you wouldn't get the numbers to have the show.
Yeah, there we go. Fair
Um,
enough.
so the first thing they do is you work for a full-on production company. You work for Big Husky Productions.
Yeah,
So
that sounds good.
you come up with a budget and say, okay, here's my budget for my thing. And CBS then buys it and says, okay, we'll buy it, and gives you the money to make this show. Now you make this show. Now, after you make it, film it, and edit it all at your production house, you send it back to the network. So the network has to do a couple things on their end. They have to legally, they have to see if everything passes. Let's say you're in your room
Okay.
and you have a Pepsi with the label out on your desk. Can't have that.
Oh, yep.
You're not sponsored by Pepsi.
Fair enough.
So
Yep.
this was a mistake. So you're gonna have to blur it or use another shot. Or let's say you're using music that's not copyrighted.
Yep.
So
now we got to change
you do that. We make sure it reaches the level that it should for television. Like the sound isn't gonna. There's actually, if we don't check the sound, if your sound is too loud, you could damage people's TV speakers.
Oh, okay.
You could actually damage people's television. Same thing with the color. If the color is too hot, you can burn white into your television. So that is why we have to look after your show, make sure legally the music and the video all is to a certain level. And then partially what I do is, when you watch a TV show and it from the start of the end of the commercial till the end of it. So it's like commercial ends, show goes, and then goes another commercial.
Yep.
So that's called a segment.
Okay.
So you usually for an hour show, you have 8 segments. You have 6 segments and 2 podbusters. Podbusters are like, have you ever seen a show where it's like you only get 30 seconds of the show and then it goes to another commercial?
Yes.
That is a podbuster. And the reason we have this, and this is actually very interesting, is because let's say you want to get money from McDonald's to do a commercial. Let's say McDonald's has a commercial, right?
Yep. McDonald's
we
wants
would
to
not
give me money.
that. Yeah, McDonald's is giving us money so that they can run their ad. Now, can we run a Burger King ad right next to it?
Oh, okay.
Right next to it? Right after it? McDonald's would be like, what the hell are you doing? Why would you run a Burger King ad directly after our McDonald's ads? So what we'll do is we'll get like Ford, McDonald's, like every single industry, and then we'll run a 30-second segment, and then we'll run a new commercial break and run their competitors.
Okay.
They're not next to each other or in the same commercial break. They're in a separate commercial break, but there's also like a very little bit of content in between them. So technically they're separated by commercial breaks.
Okay. Yep.
But it's a very small commercial break.
Okay, that makes sense.
It literally it's like a minute or 2 of content.
That's
so
crazy.
I make those into segments, and then we make sure it's all good. And then we send them to the distributor, like Comcast or Verizon or something, and then they send it everywhere else. I also personally make videos on demand for the network. I also I'm the keeper of the content. I keep every single show on the network. I know where it all is. I know where you can watch it. If you need a little segment of it, if you need a DVD of it, I am the keeper of all of the content.
That's such a great name. I am the keeper of the content.
I am the keeper. It is my castle, and I am the guard. If you would like something, you must ask the guard.
That is awesome. I love that.
So that is what I do. I fell into this job because I went to film school.
Okay.
After I went to film school, I worked in New York City as a editor. I worked in Chelsea. I worked with a bunch of famous YouTubers. I worked with a bunch of famous different brands, and then I got fired from that job. So I moved down to DC, where I am now, and I worked for a bunch of reality TV companies. and I developed reality TV shows for a production company. I got a couple shows made, and then I got fired from all those jobs. So I fell into this one, and I've been at it ever since.
Oh, there we go. I mean, that's awesome though. You've just kind of fallen into this one and you've been there ever since. That's awesome.
Yeah,
It
10
sounds
years.
like it's a lot of. It's almost like with like, and it's one of the reasons why I do love this segment so much.
Hmm.
Because it's so interesting hearing the behind the scenes kind of thing. Because like if you say it right, um, it's like okay, so this is what you do, and it's like no. This is what I do,
Dude,
right?
I can tell you TV stories. I had to, when I was a PA in New York, I
Mhm.
had to deliver weed to a famous actor as part of his contract.
Yeah,
I have an NDA, so I can't tell you who it is.
that's fine. And just like that's I just love that. That's fucking awesome.
I could tell you who it is, but
Well,
I'm not going to tell the podcast who it is.
interesting.
I don't even know if it still
Yeah.
exists.
But still, I
The
mean, no,
NDA.
I mean, still, the stuff like that, those fucking.
Yeah, we
Let's
had a,
let's
oh my
let's
god,
just
I had a
let's just be safe about it. Just
I had a really good one. My friend, okay, so my friend was an audio engineer,
hmm
and he gave this woman, it was a real housewife.
Oh, okay.
He gave her a lavalier mic, and he was like, he was trying to tell her where the receiver was. And he was like, here's the receiver, just kind of clip it. And she took it from him. She goes, I know where to put this. And he was like, oh, okay. So he, like, at the end of the night, he was like, hey, can I have, like, my loft back? And she goes, sure. And she pulled the receiver out between her butt crack.
Yeah.
She had kept the lavalier receiver inside of her butt crack
Inside.
the entire time. She was at a club, by the way, so she was sweating profusely. It was, he was like, there's no disinfectant in the world that will get rid of that.
It's one of those ones where you just Jamie Lannister yourself and just hand off.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm done with it.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. I'm not using this anymore. That's fucking
Thanks.
wild.
That's the end of that forever.
Oh man, Jesus. So what's one of the say here like what's a memory that you have that you will never forget, positive or negative? You'll never forget that involves your work, what you've done, if you can tell us that sort of thing.
There's a couple things that come to mind. When I was working as a PA, I got a knife pulled on me in Brooklyn. That was pretty crazy. I was watching all the equipment, and I was supposed to stop people from coming down the street. So I told this guy, I was like, hey man, we're filming, like you can't really come down the street. Pulled a knife on me, like put it up to me. He goes, you want to stop me from walking down the street? I was like, nope. Like,
Nope.
walk in front of the shot, do whatever you want, man. Just fucking step on me. I don't even care. Just don't hurt me, please. That was terrifying. What are some personal accomplishments? The first time I ever sold a reality TV show,
Oh, okay.
I sold it to a Scripps network. Scripps Network, for people that don't know, are like HGTV, DIY, food, cooking network, travel.
Okay.
I sold a show there, and I don't think I've ever cried so hard in my entire life.
Oh, when it like got like put through and everything.
Yeah, they were like, we're gonna start. They called because it's when you're selling reality TV shows, you're basically throwing 100 things against the wall, and maybe half of one will stick.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
So I threw like hundreds of ideas for shows, all of them not good enough, not good enough, not good enough. And then I hear from one of our bosses, they're like, hey, they like this idea. Can you expand on it? And I was like, yeah. So I expanded on it and everything. And then finally they told me, they're like, yeah, we sold the show. Like, it's going to become a real TV show. And I was like, that was a moment where I was like, whoa, I just
That's
made
awesome.
television. Like, I found talent and made a television show.
That's fucking
I remember the first time I saw my name on TV credits. That was pretty
I
crazy.
was gonna say that must have been fucking awesome.
That was a that was a show that is on a network that is now defunct.
Yeah.
I will actually. I have my name on a show that's actually on Disney Plus right now.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, yes.
It was so yeah, but the first time that happened, they sent us cupcakes. The production company sent us the network sent us cupcakes.
Oh.
And
Yes, please.
I just remember getting it, and we all ate our cupcakes, and then we watched we all went to a bar and we watched the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was like it was on a network called Velocity.
Oh yeah,
Do you remember Velocity Network?
Yep. Now that you just said it out loud, yep.
You know fucking Velocity. I'm
Yep.
like, bro.
I used to watch all those weird, like the weird channels and everything because the TV just felt more interesting.
It was so good. It was such a bad show with such bad talent.
Yes,
but I just remember it was our bad show with our bad talent.
Exactly.
You know?
Also, as Xander just said in chat, remember us little people when you make it big. Just speaking of which, I haven't had a moment to do this, and I'm going to do it while on the channel. We're going to send a huge congratulations to Xander because he is now basically doing all the creative graphic designs for Virus. Yeah. So congratulations, Xander. Gonna kill it.
Big congrats.
Yeah. So okay, so there's a big moment that you kind of look at. What's one of the what's a moment that like is just like it's a sour moment.
So I'd been working from home for about a year. I had to work with my boss. I told him like I had to tell him like we need to make the infrastructure for people to work from home.
Fair.
Like
especially
I told him like I'm not going in. I'm not going to risk my life for this fucking network, you know.
Fair.
And so he wanted me to go back in a month ago. I got vaccinated. He wanted me to go back in. And so I'm back in the first time all year. I don't have my dogs near me. My wife is not there. I'm in uncomfortable, people clothes.
At that point, it's just kind of, it's too much, right?
I just started like howling, crying. I was crying so loudly, and I knew I could because I knew nobody was in that building. Nobody was in that fucking building. So I just was like, I'm just going to cry as loud as I can, and then I'm done. Another thing, it's never fun to get fired. But one time I got fired, and partially the reason was he said I was schlubby and fat, and I didn't fit in with the culture of the network, or not the culture of the network, the culture of the production company.
Well,
he says we're kind of young and hip, and if we're kind of associated with you, it would kind of make us all kind of look a little bit less professional.
Yeah, we're gonna have words after this and find out who that man is, and the Husky fucking community is gonna have a fucking word with this person privately in a back alley.
It hurt because when I heard that, he's like, maybe you should just kind of go back home and reevaluate what kind of industry you want to be in.
Fuck.
And I was like, bruh, it hurt. But, I kind of got over it because I realized, like, if that's his idea of what the company should be, then I don't want to be a part of his stupid company anyways.
Exactly. Fuck him.
I don't need that job. I was underpaid at that job a lot.
Yeah, definitely fuck him.
I was underpaid. He would tell me while I'm editing, he goes, this is kind of shit. And I was like, well, I'm trying. He goes, I could pay 2 like college students to do what you're doing for way less. Tell me that shit to my face.
Yeah, that's when you just like do it then.
Yeah. Well, I was 22, so I was like, no, don't do that, sir. I remember here's a good one. Here's a good memory. When I lived in New York, I got shit wages. Wages for no reason.
Seems like something New York
would do. When I got my new job, in, down here in DC.
Yep.
The first thing I bought with my brand new big paycheck,
Yep.
an engagement ring.
Boom. That's fucking awesome.
3 months later, I asked her to marry me.
That's fucking awesome. I love that.
We got engaged in Brazil.
In
We went to
Brazil.
Rio de Janeiro. We were on Copacabana Beach. We were walking down, feet in the sand, and I popped the ring.
Boom.
Never forget it.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, the industry is a bit hard. And then I was like, maybe I want to be a streamer. And then 2 years later, I'm like, nope, don't want to be that.
So I was going to ask, because I know you and me have had talks before, and I don't know if it's something you want to talk about or not, but what does the future look like for ComfyMike?
The future. So I have been really into relationship coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be something I want to go down in the very near future. I have a bunch of crypto. Maybe one day I'll just become a millionaire and just say fuck it to everything. I'm not making any money in crypto. I'm losing more shit than I'm getting.
Mike!
I know, but the thought of just spending $100 and getting 400 million in return is just too much for me. I'm a weak man. I am a weak man, and that's all I get.
I get a message from Mike midway through the week as we're setting up the podcast, and it's like, I need help. And it's like,
I literally need help.
It's like, what's up, bro? And it's like, I can't stop looking into crypto. And I'm like, you mean like looking into like crypto, like that? And then I just didn't get a response back, and I was like,
I was gone. I was way gone at that point.
Yeah, at that point, I was just like, oh fuck, like, all right, well, this is gonna be something we'll talk about.
This is something he needs to get help for eventually.
This is well beyond my talents.
It was so like because I was, when you start to just hate everything you're doing, you're just like the thought just becomes, if I just become a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
No thought of work, anything like that. You're just like, what if I just win the goddamn lottery?
Exactly. All rationale goes out the window. It's just, what if I had $1 million?
You're like, what would I do? Well, I would buy a house and then a second house and this car.
See, I've thought about this. And I've thought about it multiple times.
We've all thought about this.
But my answer is I feel like it's so vastly different than a lot of people's, though.
What?
So first thing I'm doing is I'm paying off all the debt that my mom and dad have.
All the debt that you've ever accumulated in your entire life.
No, not me. My parents.
Same.
All theirs first. Then it's mine. And then immediately after that, I'm taking care of those who are taking care of me. The closest friends that I have that have looked out for me, this and that, I'm taking care of them as much as I can. If it's helping them with their debt, helping them with their loans, helping them with, they need a new car, like that. Boom. That's the first thing I'm doing. Is helping them.
Friend.
Yes, ComfyMike his friend. But like
best friend ever.
Like that's like seriously, that's a very like
yeah,
those.
No,
That's my first three. And it's like immediately, like I feel like it's just something that you don't really hear from a lot of people. I always love I'm gonna buy a yacht, and it's like, what the fuck are you gonna do with a yacht in the middle of like freaking Montana, bro? I don't know yet. That's why I'm gonna buy it. That's like, fuck
just
off.
Have it on a lake. Why not, huh? This is my lake.
Yeah. This is my little pond with a freaking
my lake with my yacht. I don't know. I mean, obviously, the first thing I would do is pay off every debt me and my family has, and then I would probably pay off my house. Honestly, I thought I don't even think about what if I had like $500 million. I'm like, what if I had like I could do shit with like one. I could live comfortably with one, because if I pay off my house, all I'd have to do is pay off like escrow and taxes. I could live off that shit forever. I could do literally anything for the rest of my life, I wouldn't have to build a giant like streaming setup or anything like that, but it would just give me that's the sad thing about everything nowadays is it would just give us freedom.
It's
Like that's the sad part is we just dream of freedom.
Freedom.
Just freedom from like having to do things rather than just doing them because we want to. You know?
Yeah.
That's my big problem is that I just want the freedom to be able to do whatever I want.
I mean, that's the thing. Is like I think everyone. That's. I mean, I feel like that's something that like yeah, people should have that. You know.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. That wraps it up. Though, thank you for coming on. I do appreciate it.
Always. I had fun.
As always, I'm going to leave your Twitch. I'm also going to leave your Twitter down
Thank
in
you,
the comments
sir.
down in the description down below. Is there anything that you would like to say last to end anything? And
If you have any primes, give them to Big Husky.
appreciate that. And again, like I said, thank you for coming on. I do appreciate
Bitch,
it.
I got primes.
I got all them primes. And as always, for everyone out there, depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Stay out of trouble. Stay safe, and we will talk to y'all later. Bye. Thank you, ComfyMike, for the resub with the Twitch Prime.